Hello, my name is Jorge Avila. Today I will present repository management with Git and GitHub, part of the challenge 1. This project is part of in Mexico program backend developer certification from Technoready, Digital Now, and Tecmilenio. Okay, let's go and see what I did. Well, let's start with a summary. As we know, Git and GitHub are essential tools for teamwork. The goal of the challenge is to improve collaboration, version control, and documentation, and the impact is to get stronger skills for professional software development. And the problem context, as we know, the big companies need a lack of practical GitHub and Git skills in new developers. If you don't know how to use a version control, how to use GitHub and Git, you are going to generate problems into your teamwork, like conflicts, version control, and poor documentation. Why the challenge is relevant? Because GitHub is the industry standard and mastering is essential for all the developers. I think that the structured GitHub practice through the sprints will change collaborations, reduce errors and conflicts, and improve documentation and project clarity. Now talking about the task that I did, we have the backlog. The backlog is divided into four parts: sprint 1, sprint 2, and sprint 3, and finally the final submission. In sprint 1, the principal objective was to set up your environment into your local machine, and in the GitHub web, the principal tasks were to create a GitHub account plus Git installation in your local machine, and the generation of SSH key and terminal connection to your GitHub account. And deliverables were a PDF evidence report and the link to your GitHub account. Now we have the sprint 2. The principal objective is the repository and collaboration. Principal tasks were to create a GitHub repository and to upload that project to that GitHub repository. After the uploading that project, I have to create a branch and update the requirements file. I update the requirements file to create a pull request to the main branch and approve that request from the main branch. The deliverables of this challenge were a PDF evidence report and the link to that repository. Now, here we have the sprint tree. The principal objective was to resolve a conflict. To generate this conflict, I followed this principal task. Create branches A and B from master, different branches, add different docs text file in each branch with different contexts, and create a PR to the master branch of each branch if branches A and B, and resolve that conflicts. And also approve and merge that PRs. And finally, I use git reset and git revert to revert the change that I made in that repository. Deliverables were a PDF evidence report and the link to that repository. And finally, the final submission. The principal tasks for this final submission are to create a presentation of the work you've done, that is this presentation, and the deliverables is the presentation PDF, and then before video presentation, that is the video that are you watching right now. And the roadmap of this challenge and the general objective of this roadmap is to develop skills in repository management in collaboration with Git and GitHub. As we see in this image on this roadmap, we have the 4 sprint that I mentioned before: sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, and final submission, and the beginning and the deadline of each sprint. And now, as we see the roadmap but in table format, we have the sprint 1 that it was the environment setup, sprint 2 that it was the repository and collaboration, and sprint 3 that it was the conflict resolving, and the final delivery. The evaluation criteria of this challenge In first one, we have the satisfaction, learning objective agile, the scope, cover setup, repo, collaboration, and resolve conflicts. The innovation, apply professional documentation standards. And we we get the solution of the principal problems that we have at the beginning. And first, progressive GitHub workflow, repositories, branches, and PRs. The second one, the conflict resolution and change reversion practice. And the last one, clear documentation, PDF reports, peer sprint. The my conclusion of this challenge that is what are that all the objectives of collaboration and version control achieve a stronger teamwork and technical confidence, and I think I'm prepared for a real world software development with version control. And the recommendation that I take of the challenge is to continue applying GitHub workflows in future projects, like personal projects, like academic projects, work projects, and all the projects that I'm going to make in the future. I'm going to apply GitHub workflows. And finally, I think GitHub and Git are so important because you have all the control of the version of your code and of the dates and the change in that code. So thank you for watching this video and see ya.